Well, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Intimate Cello Livestream number 34, called Sovereign Liberation. How exciting am I right now? As you know me from my adventurous experimenting with music, I really enjoy showing up in the world with this idea that experimenting with how I'm showing up, how I'm enjoying showing up, is pretty much keeps feeding this inner knowing that this is actually my authenticity. So I'm like really enjoying showing up as I am. And intimate cello is that kind of art. It allows me to show up as I am. It's a platform. It's a tool. It's an art. And we get to celebrate it in these live streams. And today the live stream is all about giving yourself permission to really be yourself. But it's not in a way that's automatic, because we're not really programmed to be ourselves, if you think about it. You're not really programmed to empower yourself, to know yourself, to understand yourself. We don't have this kind of system currently. But you can sovereignly create this system for yourself by investigating for yourself, learning about yourself. So this is where intimate cello is combining human design, gene keys, and sound vibration in 432 hertz, which gives you the space to process the reading. The music that we're going to listen to today, and in all live streams or intimate cello events, whether it's public or private, what ends up happening is the moment when we're in the moment, when we are intending to be in the moment, and when we are putting that inner trust in ourselves that we can be in the moment, is very much the space of surrender, where with this experience where you're receiving the information, today I'm not going to necessarily do a reading because you are online. But if I got to know you, if you like to experience this, when we do this, I need your birthday and your place of birth so that we can dive into your charts with human design and gene keys. So this is what I do for a living as a musician, who is I'm a transformational artist, utilizing all of my passions together and transmitting it, just penetrating through the whole world by transmitting my knowledge. And I like to teach by example, as human design is something that we learn best by example. And you will hear some stories about me that I will relate to my chart. And so I do the same thing in my live streams. I share little stories and connect it to my chart so that I give you the example that can really inspire you or give you this extra understanding of what this means to go deep into human design and to study about ourselves, which is kind of, I feel for me, like growing up, I don't know that I've ever really been introduced to this as a topic of study. But when I got into human design, I was just very enriched. And all I wanted to do was like, oh, thank you. Just get very excited to share this knowledge. So we're going to dive into the first piece, and I would love to get from you comments about your experience. Let me make sure that I can see all the comments of everybody. There we go. Okay, so I'm grateful that you're here with me. I'm grateful that we get to experience this in the moment. And when we have the opportunity to create this as an experience that's really happening in the moment. So we're broadcasting in the moment so you can really understand the gravity of what it takes for a person to trust themselves to do something like that. So the pieces that are played, they're always channeled, and they're channeled in the moment. I am being guided to transmit through the music, and could be in any style or any inspiration. It can take me to all different places, different kind of places of inspiration as a musician that I've absorbed, and that's for me like the most satisfying thing as my inner child. Always loved doing that. So I'm just laughing because I really love to share about this experience. It's just it blows my mind that I'm doing this online and that you get to witness this. And it doesn't matter how many times I've done it. It's always exciting, and it's always like it feels like the first time. So we're going to dive into meditating on what it means that we can be sovereign liberators, or we can liberate ourselves. Sovereign liberation is all about liberating yourself, being that savior that you somewhere want to receive from the outside. But when you can liberate yourself and you're not dependent on external liberation, that's when you're truly free. So let's meditate on that together. The 432 Hertz is here to help you to you don't need to think about what we're channeling. You don't need to, it's not a thinking experience. This is for you to meditate with and get into your body. And the inspiration will come from the sound, not from your thoughts. So open up yourself to receive the sound. And I know that this is happening online. That's why it's really important that I receive from you the feedback about the sound, so I know that it sounds great, because it's always different in live streams. You never know. But I'm curious to know how it all sounds, and the sound that you receive, let it all in. Let it all in. Let it guide you, and it will help you to connect the dots with the theme of the live stream. And I'll see you after. Would love to hear where this journey took you. I can share with you that it took me into such a deep space of gratitude, of presence, and of just immense joy for actually experiencing this. And, I've been doing this for quite some time now, offering my performed channeling on the cello in 432. And it's always blowing my mind still. Like every time there's just so much medicine and magic for me to experience. And I'm hoping that the sound is good. I'm hoping that you're enjoying, you're receiving this in the best way. Let me know if the microphone is sounding good, if the cello is sounding good. And also let me know, if you want, share with me your inner experience. So sovereign liberation, when it comes to channeling, it's all about trust, right? And if you really intend to be the conduit, if you intend to be a vessel, you intend to be an instrument for your higher self to speak through you, which you can also connect it to the higher soul, It really depends how you see it, but it's just you're channeling your essence. And the intention is to enjoy the process and witness. It's like there is a witnessing of it, and there is also a creation side with it, because we're creating in the moment. So you're witnessing something very deep that I'm experiencing within me, which is part of the medicine of this experience, as I mentioned before, is to give you music that's in a frequency that helps you to go inside of your body. It's activating you from the body, from the subconscious. And so you're also receiving it as a medicine that's happening in the moment, right? So it's this vulnerability of creating music on the spot, which I love. And so I'm kind of known for this, like most of my live performances are pretty much fully improvised, no matter in which situation and which artist I'm performing with, and etc. Unless it's something that you've heard produced of mine that was created for the sake of creation as well, because it was created as a fun experiment with music production, and I released a lot of my material, and it's been quite the journey, quite the joy to experience that. And so essentially in my compositions, you're also tapping into my style, you're tapping into my taste, and, it's coming through the soul. It's coming from the deepest place within me, and that I can't even really explain from my mind, But I love to share it, and I love to talk about it. And as I explained before, I also love to not really do this to focus on me, actually rather to do this to focus on you. And let me explain why and how. Why is because in my nature, as a projector, who is here to basically learn about life through experience. It's a 1-3 projector, a Spleenic Projector. Really learning a lot about myself, but essentially I'm really here for you. I'm here to guide you. So what I can guide you through is what I'm learning about myself. And Intimate Cello is giving me this incredible platform. And I love it. And what you can get out of this essentially, and this is coming into the how. So how do we do this? So when I orchestrate my intimate cello sessions, so what we touch on from the very, very beginning is your human design chart and your gene keys chart. Human design and gene keys are related, essentially. They're very connected, and they complete, in my experience, they complete each other, but they're very different. At the same time, the only thing that makes them different is that one is more feminine and the other is more masculine. But they're both really powerful tools for us to help us to see how we're actually built as an energy system. And each and every human being is entirely built differently. Like it's a whole other code to really understand the you that you are. And every person has their unique code. And so when I work with you one-on-one, we really start decoding this, and we go as slow or as fast as you like, because some people like to assimilate information slowly and they don't really necessarily know how to take a lot of information fast. So it really depends on you. If you're somebody who likes to, who can process, like for example, a projector, which is my type of aura, process fairly fast. But the majority of the planet, 70% of us, are generators and manifesting generators, which are here to respond to life from moment to moment. And so they need always to, so you can't give them something without them knowing that it's for them to respond. They need to understand, because they need, in order for them to really digest, they need to respond to everything. And so for many people, we do this quite slowly, and so that means that fairly into the reading, there'll be a moment where we can pause to meditate on the information, and that's when you go into the music part. And then you'll hear me perform, and it's not a performance per se, it's a channeling experience, but it's performed and it's personalized specifically to you, because it's what your energy is feeding me in the moment, and what I'm being guided to channel and to transmit to you through my aura. And so that's when we're going into assimilating the information through the subconscious, through the body, not through the mind. It just goes, and it's a really deepening experience of connecting the dots. And after the finish of the first piece, we usually go into the we go into what was processed during that time, and if there is something that you want to talk about. Because what ends up happening to many of us with 432 hertz, which is still new to me, because I've only been playing with this frequency for the last 2 years. But I'm just constantly finding this space of relaxation within me. And in that relaxation, I'm really trusting, I'm really relaxed, I'm really at ease. And I'm more positive, you know, I'm more, it's just allowing. And that's when the magic happens for me as I perform. And it happens to many who are present in the audience. They're receiving some downloads, they're being guided from within them. They're feeling things, and it's important for them to share. And in fact, I encourage everyone to share, including you. Please share with me your experience. So I'd love to hear also how the sound is working for you. And yeah, so we're going to go, now we're going to go into the next piece, because everything that I've shared with you right now about this offering and about how this offering is tied to the the, the teachings, or the how should I say, like all the titles of each live stream is connected to my soul is guiding me. It's giving me guidance as to what is needed to come through me, and what do I need to speak about, because this is all about, I'm channeling about it, but I'm also channeling the evolution of intimate cello at the same time. So these themes are very, very connected to the heart and soul of intimate cello for you to connect the dots with. So we're going to take this piece of information, we're going to meditate on that in 432. And we're just going to go into one piece, and then we'll come back and we'll continue to talk. Thank you. everybody. How are you all feeling? I wanted to share with you something very special and quite, it's quite a remarkable thought that I had about this offering, this art. There's something so intimate in this experience, and playing this to somebody who is in a space of wanting to either surrender, to go to the next, to leave the body, or needing some support to stay, to actually feel this like gratitude for being here. This art is very suitable for sending our loved ones home. So if you knew of anyone that was in that state and could use this blessing, let me know so I can contact you and we can work something. In my website, you could check out pretty much, I'm updating everything that wherever I'm performing, and I'm updating my offerings. You could check there. And you can definitely contact me through my website. And also, if you're on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, you can always tap into my Linktree page. It should be on my profile, on my bio. And that is just all of the links, how to reach to me and to find out what I do. And you can show this, you can promote it, and share this with others. And also you can listen to music that's channeled as well, on my independent music store, my Bandcamp page. It's all in, well, not all, but lots of it is in 432 hertz. And yeah, you can share this. This is just another beautiful seed that I'm planting right here. And sharing with you about this art it's been kind of monumental for me to really connect the dots to everything in my life, to understand who I am through my experiences, but mostly through what I've learned and through where I'm at right now in relationship to what I've learned in the past. And so I've grown a lot as a performer as well as a human being. And, I'm originally from Israel, where I got the most incredible upbringing and education as a musician, as a young musician. And in fact, it was in Israel that I was introduced to improvisation. And my high school, it's one of my favorite stories. In my high school in Haifa, Israel, we had improv classes every week. And that was like my favorite class, because it was all about this moment, creation now. It's fun and it's exciting and there's nothing to be afraid of, but it's challenging, but that's the teaching. So I was really lucky to receive this guidance back then. But for years, I didn't really get back to it as a thing, or as something that, like, I didn't really necessarily remember that to be my thing or a thing for me. But when I sat down to play with Fernando Perdomo. It's another famous story that I tell a lot. Famous or not, but it's, yeah, I, with Fern and Chelly, which is my improv duo since 2016, the very first time that we sat down to play, to improvise, within 5 minutes, Fernando said, "I'm sorry, Ruti, but we have to record this." And so out of that recording session, which was like a midnight till like, I want to say 3 a.m., we got a lot of amazing music recorded, and we actually released a lot of that music from that night in our first album called The Conversations, that got us to open for Jean-Luc Ponty, who's a very beautiful, known jazz fusion violinist from France, who's connected to the Frank Zappa gang, and to all of the Mahavishnu orchestra genre, you know, like the super fusiony psychedelic improv that had a lot of also like some written stuff, and it was just so very unique and amazing. And so that was a really beautiful opportunity, and that had to do with my recognition of how freeing this experience feels to me. When I got back into it, and back in 2016, I remember feeling and thinking how unbelievable it was for me. We were like, Fernando and I were like hugging for like 10 minutes straight after the recording, and we were crying. It was just a beautiful story. I'm looking forward to perform with him again. But now I've been so immersed in this. Like, I just basically, since then, I realized, holy shit, this is what I am. This is what I love to do. Like, I love putting myself on the spot like that, because it's this space of vulnerability where I can show up as I am, and I can enjoy doing this in front of people, like channeling. So here's where improvising evolved into channeling. So I want to also connect the dots to that, because a lot of people are still kind of confused about what is channeling, and is it safe, or is it a good thing? First of all, channeling is really connecting to the higher sense of you, the higher self, to the infinite part of you. And we're all connected to the infinite. We are all connected to that. That's the higher power. And so that's all you're doing. You're just connecting to yourself, but to your higher part of you. So improvising is tapping into that channel. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing, different word. So we're kind of like massaging this word in this platform, because the way that I introduce my work to the world is through the beauty of deprogramming, because deprogramming is what's in the way of us recognizing our worthiness, and that worthiness is that you can show up in the world as yourself constantly. And it actually gonna serve you. If you check out my Instagram post from today, you'll see I was just talking about that. And it is such a profound experience for me to talk about, as somebody who's been in that environment, very deep deprogramming from my early 20s, with an offshoot of Osho, which is a very controversial teacher. You know, Osho is known for, but just extremely misunderstood, because he was, you know, had such profound he had such a profound ability to connect the dots between the different programs. And he was very much about A, creating balance, and B, listening to yourself. It was very much encouraging people to pay attention to their inner authority, to give themselves permission to be themselves. And that's a lot of work. That's a huge amount of deprogramming work. And interestingly enough, in the human design, as a projector, that's what projectors are actually here for. Osho was also a projector, just like me. Osho was a phenomenal example for a projector who did a lot of deprogramming work that was very necessary and still is very, very necessary in the world, if you're asking me. Why? Because the programming essentially is what gets us to operate not from our authority, not from our design. It goes into what they call the not self theme in human design, which it translates with generators and manifesting generators to frustration, or with projectors it translates to bitterness, or with manifestors it translates to anger. And there's more examples, of course. But you see what I mean? It's that when we're not living in alignment with our design, that is when we suffer. So it's really going to serve us all to know our design. It's going to help us to understand our uniqueness so that we know how to combine it with other people's uniqueness. And I think this is going to liberate humanity so much. It already is, because I know lots of different communities that live this way, large and small. Lots of different communities all over the world live this way already. And I am really inspired by this, and that's the vision I'm feeling for, I'm seeing, I'm sensing, I'm already experiencing it in many ways, of this level of openness that we're going to be able to discover through actually like the knowledge and the understanding of who we are through the human design and the gene keys. So this is something that I'm very passionate about, as you can see. And like I said, to find out your chart, you can go online, it's free. Just Google either human design chart or gene keys chart, and you could do it. All you need is your exact time of birth. And if you don't know your exact time of birth, ask relatives, anybody that is still around, and at least try to get the sense of, was it in the evening, was it in the day, was it in the morning, was it at nighttime? Just find out. And you can get, the accuracy is pretty good. It's not, it's obviously best to have it exactly because the nuances are many. But there's solid amount of information that's going to be very accurate, even if you just say afternoon, So anyways, I'd love to connect this to our next piece, and now I'd love for you to go back into your body, receive the sound in a meditative space. Oh, every time when we're doing these live streams, I make sure to mention in some point of the live stream that you can lay down or just carve yourself some space to be with the music, because this music is actually more, it really works when we close our eyes, as you can go really deep within and receive the feeling of the channeling. You can feel what I'm feeling in the moment itself. And I'd love for you to tap into your inner experience and share in the comments what you're experiencing, so that we can bring it up and we can look at it and we can say thank you for doing that, because this is the opportunity for everybody to learn as well, about the about this experience. So I'll see you right after the piece. Thank you. Hi, everybody. How you all doing? For some reason today, I don't know, maybe the comments are not, maybe they're disabled or something. Not seeing any comments today, so I'm just hoping that everything is okay on the other side. And if you can't, it's totally cool. We just love to create this synergy in the moment, since you're not technically in front of me, but I can feel your presence. So it's lovely to know who is there. So definitely drop your name, and you can always connect with me through Instagram, Facebook, my website, YouTube. Just drop me a line, let me know how you're enjoying this. And truly today, it's just been such a marvelous experience to tap into this topic, you know, a topic of sovereign liberation, to understand that only through my own, and I can say our own because you could take it or leave it if it suits you, but I will speak for myself. That only through my own liberation, my own sovereign liberation, can I show up in the world authentically. For sure. And it's been quite the journey. And it's only getting better. Let me just tell you, it's only getting better. Because what I'm witnessing is this experience of vibrational resonance, and there is a space of, you know, when we're trusting ourselves, when we're looking deep to see the divinity of our arrival, of our being here in the flesh. That's a big deal. To incarnate. That's a big journey, to be in the body, you know, and whether you have felt this on some level in your life or not, I'm curious, but I've experienced this like inner knowing that like I know this part of me that has lived before, because I can see what I'm bringing from past life through my human design chart. You can see your design side, which is basically your past, what you're bringing from before, the energy that you're bringing from your past lessons. So it's quite incredible to look into that and to tap into it and to recognize that part of you, a very big part of you, if not half of you, is connected to your past lives. It's connected to your what you were before you were in this body, you know? And the other side of it is what's creating the personality, what's creating your unique makeup, your unique expression. And in fact, the expression comes from both sides, but it's this ability to really be that, you know, to own that, to show up as that. It's quite remarkable. So I'd love to invite you to investigate a little bit further with human design, so you can, you know, get some clues as to what you can get from it. And here's the thing. If you have not yet visited your profile, or you haven't had a reading, or you haven't checked it yet, anything that you're seeing on your chart, you can Google, literally, word to word. You can Google and you'll get lots of information. Or you can come to me and I'll help you understand it. But it's all available. It's all super accessible. Same with the gene keys. You can Google a lot of it, and there's a lot of information in the original chart, the PDF chart that you'll get when you do it for free. yeah, I really encourage you to go there because I don't know, for me, it just was a game changer. Totally clarify to me what I'm here to do and like just not just do what I'm here to express. I guess it's part of doing, but there's so much there's so much beauty and so much depth into understanding oneself through all the planets. You have 13 planets or 14, I think, to look through and to like to get this, like it's basically the planets are here to show us our like our life's work, our why we're here, what matters to us, you know? Shows us our purpose. It shows us what we care about and what we value. It shows us what touches us so deeply and what you know, what is really moving us from within. That's related to the planets. It's quite remarkable to think about that. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to look into those. And also, if you're called to connect with me and to have a session where we could do this together, and I can also give you the blessings of the music to digest all that information. That's my this is kind of like my unique offering in the world, and I'm really excited about giving it to you. And I wanted to share with you also that on the 21st of this month of July, I'll be performing at Soft Medicine Sanctuary at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's going to be a beautiful sound journey with an introduction to the human design system. And so you can come and connect the dots with me. It's going to be, we've been hosting sound journeys there for quite some time, maybe 4 or 5 times this year. And this time it's just going to be me, by myself. And I'm excited, and I'm hoping if you're local in California, or if you have any friends in California, let them know so they can come and join us. It's a 2-hour event. And on the 13th of this month, which is this week, I believe, it's in 3 days, isn't it? Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This Thursday at 1 p.m. is going to be a broadcast of an interview that I did with the Shift Network about intimate cello. And I'm stoked because it was a great interview and I really enjoyed, well, yes, it's a recording of the interview. But you could also check that out if you, let me see. Well, you'd have to be part of my, part of those who receive the newsletters. But if you're not receiving my newsletters and you'd like to know, in fact, you could find that in Facebook. I did post that in Facebook, and I will continue posting that as well as in Instagram. And I'll leave the links. I'll make sure that you have the link that you can register to listen to that, because that's going to be part of the summit, the annual Sound Healing Summit of the Shift Network, with a few other remarkable sound healers that are going to be promoting their work. And I'm very grateful to have been invited to present there. So make sure you check that link. And let me think what else I'd like to share with you. I'm excited. I'm moving to Sebastopol from the forest, from Guerneville, next month. So it's going to be a very exciting month for me. And things are just moving really beautifully with intimate cello. And I'm giving private sessions and performing all over town, and it's just been super exciting. And with the knowledge that's coming my way, the human design and the Gene Keys knowledge is just making everything so much more exciting, as I am tapping into this natural gift that I have, and I'm recognizing that I'm really connected very deeply to this wisdom, and it's just been fun, you know. So we're hosting starting in August, every first and third Wednesday of the month. We're hosting human design introduction support group for all types. In fact, this month in July, it's going to be the second Wednesday and third, which are the 12th and the 19th. So 2 days from today, we're going to have a meeting. And on next week as well, on the 19th of July, if you like to join us, it's all types. What we do is we nerd out on the human design. And I'm going to also introduce the Gene Keys, because in all honesty, as I said earlier, it's more like the feminine interpretation of the same codes, you know, and it's presented in a different way. It's more like a sacred geometry type way, whereas the human design is talking about the body. It's like it's really showing you where it's at in the body. Yeah, so it's really exciting. So let us know if you like to, or just come and show up. Come and show up for the meeting, for the support group meetings. Would love to see you and share with your friends. And so the intention here is to expand the consciousness of the community. And we are calling for collaborations. We're calling for spaces where we can bring this knowledge. And in particular, the combination with the sound healing is very helpful, as I mentioned before, is this aspect of being able to process the information. Because it's quite a bit of information when it comes to the readings, and some of the concepts, they need some space to process. So the sound healing is helping with that a lot. So yeah, we're open for many different types of sharing and presenting and being hosted. So Intimate Cello is perfect to be hosted, for your community. So you're basically going to bring your tribe, your family, your company, whatever feels like going to benefit from understanding the importance of learning about ourselves through these tools. Because I'm going to present these tools to you, the human design and the Gene Keys, to serve your ability to show up with your worthiness of your authentic self. So the benefit of this is huge. We're still bringing this out to the world. As you see, it's growing from week to week. And it's, it's just so exciting, to be honest. I'm just feeling a constant growth of excitement. So part of this excitement gets to be expressed and shared on the live streams. So thank you for being here with us. And I'm feeling called to also just connect the dots to some of the teachings and the teachers that I received in my life, that I met, that I've had the luxury to learn from. And my teacher Mohan was with Osho for many years. I've been so amazed and in awe of his brilliance and learned a lot about the power of the mind and about the power of how, when you use the mind as a servant, how it can help you to understand yourself. Because we're not the mind. We're not the mind. We are also not our identity. We are the essence, the essence that carries all of these aspects. And we get to witness all of it, and we get to really like learn also through seeing other people, because everybody has the same that we have, but it's expressed differently. Different choice, because we're all choosing these energetic currents. Essentially, you are choosing your character before you arrive, before you are born. And it's quite powerful, actually, to embrace that and to really embody that, to embody your authentic self and just enjoy being yourself. You know, I do love to philosophize about this, so that's me celebrating myself. And I'm grateful that you're here with me, allowing me to be myself in the process of you also comfortable with being yourself. Because only when we are comfortable with ourselves can we be comfortable with others being themselves, isn't it? You know? So it's quite remarkable what we can receive in this container. So I thank you so much for your presence and for being here. And I'm looking forward to connect with you next time. This is every second Monday. And each time we have a topic that we talk about that's channeled. And then I'm looking forward to connecting with you then, and I'm wishing you a very, very beautiful summer. Enjoy. I'm getting my first. Oh, cool. Great. I'm glad that this sound is good. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'm sending you a very big hug and much love. And I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye.